what God has started doing in Pastor Muleya. He wants that thing to outlive him. And that's why sons and daughters are very important. It doesn't matter the gifting. You may be gifted as a prophet. You may be gifted as an apostle. You may be gifted as a teacher. You may be gifted as a pastor, as an evangelist. Theologians are still, debating whether it's fivefold or fourfold ministry, whatever you are. You might be gifted as a lawyer. You might be called as a businessman. You might be called as a teacher, as a banker, as a cabinet minister, as the president. Everybody needs to be raised. Everybody needs to be raised. We are having a problem today, even in the pulpit, because some of the people are not false prophets. They were just not raised. They grew up, but they were not raised. You see, when you find us in town walking together here, both of us are wearing suits and ties. When you look at us, you think we are the same. Until he starts to talk and I begin to talk. Then you will know that one of them was raised, the other one just grew up. You may be seated. And whether you were raised or you were not raised, people want to know who your father or your mother was. Because that will affect how they receive you, how they relate to you, and who they give to you. You may be seated. So these were sons of the prophets because they needed to be raised. They needed to be trained. They needed to be mentored. Are you following this? They needed to be mentored so that when they go out, wherever they are, listen to this. The Bible says children are a blessing from the Lord. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. They will not be ashamed when they stand before the enemy in the gates. Are you following this? I wish we had time to talk about the gates. Gates are places of decision making. A gate is a place where decisions are made. So when we release you into government, you will not be an embarrassment. You'll be able to deliver. When we release you in the marketplace as a lawyer, you will not embarrass us. When we release you in the banking world, you will not embarrass us because you were raised. Are you following this? There is always a difference between a businessman who has been raised and the one that just grew up. There is a difference between a lawyer who was raised and the lawyer that just grew up. There is a difference between a wife that just grew up and the wife that was raised. So we need to commit ourselves to being mentored, being trained, being raised. And a church is more than just a place where we come to dance. Are you following this? This is more like a university where we teach you how to go out there in life and succeed. Are you following this? We want something sustainable, something that can outlive us, something that will be here when we are not there. You sit down, listen to this. Can you imagine people like Messi, Ronaldo, as good as they are, Tiger Woods, they have a coach as good as they are. What makes you think you will make it and dominate and subdue and operate on a high level? If Ronaldo can have a coach, Messi can have a coach, Tiger Woods can have a coach, everybody needs to be raised. And these were sons of the prophets who were able to pick in the realm of the spirit that Elijah was going to be taken, but they still sat down and allowed mentoring and allowed training and allowed an upgrade. You may be seated. Let's work this thing. Let's work this thing.